Ladies and gentlemen, for another episode of Digital Soul Presents. We are starting season three with a personal good friend of mine and very, very talented producer, guitarist, artist, member of Fishbone, former member of Fishbone, also current member of the time. And right now he has a new guitar. We're going to get into a little bit of that too as well. Mr. Tori Freak Juice Ruffin is in the house. What it do, my brother?
Hey, what's happening, John? How you feeling? Digital Soul in the house.
Oh, thank you, my brother, man. How's everything been, man? It's been a minute, man.
Yeah, man. It's been a while. We had a crazy year last year. It was a good year, and we're about to start it up again. And like I say, a lot of good things have been happening, and we're embarking on some new, unclaimed territory or some new territory for me, Monty, Jelly Bean, and Freeze. Yeah.
Okay.
So we're looking forward to
You know my
that.
antenna's gonna be up, man.
You got to make it out.
I will try. You know, I'm always trying to come out, man. You know I will. But first things first,
Yeah.
man. We got this beautiful axe that I want to talk about, man. This freak juice axe, man. It's a beautiful thing. Do you happen to have it nearby by any chance?
Well, as a matter of fact, they just
Isn't
sent me
she
a
pretty?
backup, and they just sent me a backup, and
Okay.
haven't tuned it up yet. But as you can see, this is it, the Tory Freak Juice uh signature model. Uh, as you can see, we got the roasted maple neck, man, with some jumbo frets, guys. We got the HSH Pasadena, uh, Eric Johnson single coil, and then Pasadena Plus. So, for those are the pickups for all you non-music people. We got some yellow bobbins to match it. Got some locking tuners on the back, y'all. And then we got a Wilkinson bridge. I'm very excited about that. It stays in tune with it. Got a push pull here, and five-way, and it comes with a yellow. They took it out. We got to put the yellow, but the five-way switch, and then you got your push and pull where you can split the pickup so you can get a traditional sat sound. And then for me, I'm messing around with some jazz, so I had them darken up the neck pickup a little bit, so it gives a little more warmer tone than a traditional Strat. And if you push it, it'll sound like a original Strat. It's really versatile guitar, man. I designed it so I could use it with Freak Juice and the time. So it's got some, no guitar can really have a one size fits all. So I ain't gonna get up in here and start lying. But it's pretty versatile. It has some sounds, guys. And we'll be doing a lot of that coming up at our Sweetwater event. I ain't gonna plug it in and show you just yet. I'm gonna show you at the Sweetwater, and we're gonna take you through the tones, and we're gonna take you through all the gear that we use. So I know I've just been babbling like a run-on sentence. So let me just tell them what I'm talking about. So May 22nd, me, Monty, Jelly Bean, and Freeze. We've been playing more. Obviously, Jelly Bean and mine are original members. I've been playing with Morris for 30 and in the Minneapolis scene for about 30 plus years. And Freezer's been there for over 40 years. So we've did thousands of shows. It's been a 30-year period, man. We've been trying to keep this music alive for the fans and just keeping the old school funk music alive. So we want to do a class. We noticed that everybody's on social media and going around to these colleges talking about funk, and I was like, well, we were in the camp. We might as well go get a piece of that and let people understand where it's coming from, really straight from the horse's mouth, like Jelly Bean and Monty. They were inside, and it's going to be focused on the Minneapolis sound. There's the, of course, the George Clinton camp and this is going to be a more on the Minneapolis side, so we'll be talking about that.
Yeah, that sounds
And
like
I know you wanted to ask me, but I kind of segued into it.
yeah, that's all
What?
good, man. Because
You
you
get
got my ears perked up too now. I'm like, man, I'm gonna be waiting on the corner for that.
Yeah, man. So it's gonna be in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Sweetwater's a huge music company,
Mm,
and they're like the Amazon of music, basically. Uh, but they're good people, and the prices are great, and they're supporting us with this event. So please, if any of you guys close or just feel like you want to come ask Jellybean and Money some questions about Prince or get into the heads of you don't have to be a musician to have fun with this. We're gonna be talking about doing it and talking about a lot of different things. So it'll be fun.
absolutely. And ladies and gentlemen, keep an eye out. I'll also be promoting it in my stories, and I have been. So I'll drop it in there just in case you guys can get the details, just in case. So just kind of keep an eye out for that. It's coming up in about a month. That's going to be some good stuff there, some good talk, like Mr. Ruffin said there. And, and the details, man, the details on the axe, man, are just man, just mind blowing. Like the even like the lemon on the fretboard and everything. It's just
Oh yeah,
so freaking cool, man.
thanks, man. Well, my for you those who don't know my other band that I have that is kind of it's been a real passion of mine, and it's a mixture of rock, funk, and jazz, and we kind of go all over the place, because I've been in the R&B lane strictly making a living, not just with Morris, but with, a lot of other people. So, but I'm from Detroit, so, you know, um, but I'm old schooler from Detroit, and back in the day there was Led Zeppelin and Stevie Wonder on the same radio station. And there was this rock band Rush that was across the water that we heard as, and I'm talking about these are all brother musicians. We were playing James Brown, the Isley Brothers, of course, Parliament Funkadelic, but we were messing around with Rush and Led Zeppelin, and so rock is a big part of who I am, and it's just another part, and so is jazz. And so I couldn't start a rock, jazz, and a funk band when I came out pro. I couldn't have three different bands.
Right.
So we do it all in one night with Freak Juice. We play some jazz, we play some funk, we play some heavy rock. We've thrown in some Prince occasionally. Just whatever. It's just like a whatever. It's definitely a music thing. It's not as commercial as, some might hope for, but we do have some good songs, and I think you would have a good time.
Talk
It's
a talk
funky. It's definitely fun. It's definitely funky.
talk a little bit about the concept of free juice because it's been put together for a long time now.
It has, man. It's kind of like a labor of love, like I said, passion. I'm always, I'm a little bit of jazz nerd. I've been studying it here really lately. Um, and so like I saw Miles Davis, man, when I was 17 at the Hollywood Bowl, and I think he
Mm,
had Schofield and Stern with him, and I was playing in an R&B band at the time, and barely playing E minor, but my sax player was like, man, if you really want to be good, you need to go down and hear these guys with Miles. They're playing this thing called bebop, and if you want to be good, you got to play that. And I was like, well, let me go see what's happening. I'm always into learning. I was always into learning. So, but man, obviously when I went to the Hollywood Bowl at 17, and it just blew my mind. I could understand. Well, Miles had this fusion thing, so he was playing the groove. So I'm good with that. I can get it. Then the guitar player started rocking out. Oh, I'm good with that. And then, man, all of a sudden they started launching into this other language that just felt like it was just, I don't know. It just blew my mind. Like, what the? what that?
Outer world, huh?
It was out of world. It was like a tension and release thing, and I was hooked. I like the tension and the release, and and so that's where my head's been all the way. But with trying to make a living in LA and running around, I have I always studied and I always practiced and played, but just here up and recently, since I moved to Oklahoma, I hadn't really had time to do that. And in terms of really, sit back and study instruments. So now I've had that time, and I'm injecting more of the jazz element into Freak Juice. But I'm a big fan of punk rock, and I like the energy. I like the Bad Brains, and so I'm conflicted. So I just do it all in one. Love funk, of course I love French and I love the funk. So, but so I guess I didn't want to just be playing at some hotel, even the, or whatever, just you know, uh, jazzing it up. But so I always like the energy of both, of all three styles, and the youthfulness of punk rock, and the energy of rock, and the energy of funk, you know. But I like the harmony of jazz, if that makes any sense.
Yeah,
I like the tension and release. So that's what Freak Shoes basically is, just one loud jazz man. Maybe Led Zeppelin instead of how they played blues, we're more jazz influenced, I would say, because that where they had songs, and then Jimmy Page would launch into these long kind of blues. That's what I came up on. Rush, and then Rush would go into all different places. So Freak Juice has a little bit of all that stuff, and of course, and then just with my flavor, and I listened to some of the early records, and before I had the Time gig, it's funny, I was still playing like Prince rhythm, because that's how we grew up, listening to Prince. Anybody back in the 80s, if you played R&B, it was the Minneapolis sound, right?
got your chops on that.
I
Yeah,
got my chops on. Now it's like, oh man, I'm still funking in over the spot.
that's hella cool, man. And yeah, so you guys dropped the first project, Juice Makers, in what, 99 or 98, right?
Well, we had a project called Silver Right, and I think that was shit, man. That might have been '89.
Wow.
Yeah, and then Juice Makers. Yeah, then I did some other stuff, and I'm pretty slow at these records, but I'm about to drop one. I'm gonna get to writing one more, and
Yeah.
this
Yeah, I was just going to say, man, you
one.
overdue, because the last time we talked, you had just dropped the Freak Juice and Friends, and that was 2020, I think. That was the last time we had you on the show.
Yeah, yeah, it gets by. Yeah, it gets by. It goes by real quick. I learned a lot on that though. I got a lot of pub, from that, but I learned a lot. That's, I had a nonprofit label helping me out called Horton Records, and being from LA, you would think it was, it was just like a dumb moment, that in terms of where the industry is now. It's kind of it's really a lot of pay to play. Like, you get your stuff in the magazines, or to get any kind of decent write up, you gotta put money into it.
Yeah,
I'm like, everybody like, yeah, duh, Tori, but I didn't really realize that the gravity of it, how important that is, um, if you want to get any type of momentum going.
right.
But mainly, I've been putting out the records like back in the day, and the times have changed, because when I first put them out, I was just happy when you could sell the CDs, and I would, when I got the Morris gig, I was
Physical
I was
copy.
killing them.
Yeah,
I used to be out there killing them, but that's all I really cared. I just wanted my little fan base and people to show up to the clubs,
right, right.
because I was going to be busy with Morris and stuff, so.
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
what have you guys been doing?
We wait on the next one, man.
Okay. We gotta do. I gotta do something with you guys, man. You guys got quite a few projects yourself.
Man, I would be honored, man. I would
Yeah, yeah,
it's gonna
yep.
stink too.
Huh?
It's gonna stink too if we
Oh
do
yeah. Oh
it.
yeah.
It's gonna be stanky and juicy.
Thank you.
You know it,
You know it's got to be.
man. No doubt, man.
Yeah, we used to rock Bakersfield a little bit back in the day.
Yeah, yeah,
We used to rock some clubs down there. I had a couple rock clubs down there we used to play. It was cool.
yeah. Man, it get hot as I don't know what out there, boy.
Oh yeah. Bakersfield ain't no joke.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I also want to get into because you started with Fishbone in the mid 90s also as well.
Well, shoot, man. I think it was more like the 2000s. I was around with Rocky George, and we played on a record called "Still Stuck in Your Throat." Um,
Okay.
it
Yeah,
was, I think we played about 6 or 7 years together. I was still doing the time though, because I was just had some close calls where I almost missed the time gig. I was shitting my pants a little bit. Like, no, not the Terry Lewis Jimmy Jam thing.
not me.
Not me.
What's a good?
But yeah, yeah, Fishbone, man, that was a big education. I
Yeah,
mean, really, all my punk rock and really reggae, and I mean, because up until then, I was just like I said, funk and rock guy, and then later on jazz, But man, they really opened my eyes to the punk rock and the ska, and you know, and the origins of it, you
yeah.
know, and I didn't know ska came from Africa, so I guess everything comes from Africa at the end of the day, doesn't it? Or
Or
yeah,
from us.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, yeah, from the brothers. So I was so just playing the ska and punk rock and they was getting hip to Bad Brains.
yeah,
We got a chance to play a show with HR uh, and Norwood right before the show. Hey, learn this real quick, and it's, like it's right brigade, and it's not an easy song. I'm like, okay, here we go.
yeah.
But yeah, man, stuff like that. So that was great. We did some tours with Slightly Stupid. We're all up in the mountains doing ski resorts and stuff. They got a nice, and then we went over to Europe. They got a nice little scene that they get to tour in. It's really cool.
They're still kicking too,
They're
man.
still kicking it, yeah.
Got a good lineup too, man. With the
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
rest of the team, cats in there.
Uh,
They
say
got Space,
what?
they got Spacey T and a couple of other new cats in there replacing now.
Yeah, yeah, Spacey T. He was in the band before too,
Yeah, yeah,
a long time ago.
yeah. He's back in now again.
Matter of fact, I think me and Rocky took over for Spacey T.
Did okay, okay, okay.
Yeah,
So you took
yeah,
over.
we came in after that, and then Rocky lasted longer than I did. But it was right around the tour. I was playing with Fishbone right around the tour of musicology, actually.
Okay, okay. So it sounds
It's
like 2004.
Yeah, so whatever musicology was, I was in Fishbone at that time because I remember we were in San Diego or we were at the LA Forum and Fishbone had a gig in San Diego. And so I did both. It was cool.
Yeah,
Mm.
right.
They couldn't believe I left they couldn't believe I left the LA was it the Forum? No, Sofa or whatever. What was it called? The Sofa. What was that damn arena? Wherever the Lakers were playing.
Oh, the forum.
We played that arena.
The forum.
Huh? No, it
Oh,
wasn't the forum.
oh, it's so far
Crypto.
now. Yeah.
Okay, it wasn't the stadium. Okay, it was the crypto arena, I think,
Oh, the crypto. Okay.
where the Lakers play now, not the SoFi. But anyway,
Yeah, the crypto. Yeah, that's the cryptocurrency. Mhm.
yeah. But we were doing. Man, that was great. The musicology tour was great too.
Oh yeah, I went to a couple of those concerts when they
Yeah,
came. Yeah. So,
that was life changing. In terms of just uh being with that many screaming fans. Uh, you hear that every day, and you kind of, oh, okay, I get it. I see how people lose their minds and want green M&Ms and no sun in my dressing or whatever. I got all these fans. Yeah, I mean, when we did a show, nobody knew the time hadn't played since Purple Rain with him before the musicology tour. I think we might have did something. I think he might have got on stage with us at 1999 or something like that, but the time hadn't toured.
Was it the rave concert,
I
right?
think the rave after or before?
That was New Year's 1999, going into 2000.
Oh, okay, so the rave. Okay, so we did the rave, but
Yeah,
we hadn't the band had never toured with him since the Purple Rain tour, and so everybody, I don't know if people thought or whatever, but nobody, he did quite a few dates without us, and then he said I want come to Atlanta, and I don't want you to tell anybody, and just you know, so it was kind of surprised, and then when the people heard that clock come out, man.
yeah.
It was the most deafening screams I had
Wow.
ever heard. It just felt it just brought chills all down my body and just like it was so loud and crazy. I was like, oh, I was like, this is how people lose their mind. Because imagine hearing that, we only did it for a few shows, but imagine hearing that everywhere you walk around. You might have a problem after a while.
It does something to you.
It might do
You'd
something
be
to
like,
you.
hey.
Hey, I am the man. Yeah. You hear that? Yeah. Don't
That's
fuck with
cool, man.
me. I'm the man.
Dang.
So that was cool, man. Yeah. Um, but yeah, being in the band for 30 years has been a great and wild ride. I can't,
And,
I couldn't
I was
ask for it
still,
because not only that, I was a big fan of the band. Who was it, right? When you're coming up at that time, if you played music, you definitely were. And they were the close, and I think you didn't see many black artists so they were pretty visual because they were in a movie. Jesse had his thing he was killing. We're all, everybody was fans of Jesse's too. We all just loved the times music. So when it came uh time for me, when it came time for them to find, I had heard about the audition late, but apparently they were auditioning everybody, and but when I was here in Austin in the 80s, we played in pretty much a time cover band. We was doing all this stuff with and then funny story is Morris Hayes, he had a Prince. He's from Memphis, so he had a Prince more. Him and Greg G Sharp, they all had a, a Prince cover band, and
wow.
so they would come down down to Austin, and we would do shows. But when it came time to get go audition for them, I didn't even have to listen to anything. You know what I mean?
Man,
Because we knew I knew the hits at least. Jungle Love and The Bird and I knew The Walk, Wild and Loose. Just knew it. You know what I mean? So and then it was only supposed to be 2 weeks, and then it turned out 30 years. I think Dr. Dre was at the first run. So was Sheila E. Yeah.
yeah, a lot of people don't realize, man, that this version of the time has been together than the original lineup. So you guys have some major you freeze and Christopher Troy and now Padre, all you cats and man, you guys have been kicking ass, man, for the last several years and
Oh,
still
yeah, we've been grinding,
stomping a
man.
mud hole in them, man. To this day. So yeah, you guys
Yeah,
still killing it, man.
right on, man. Appreciate
Yeah,
that.
no doubt, man. And another thing that if people are not aware of, man, is the coming to America thing that that you're
Sexual
involved in.
chocolate.
Yeah, the sexual chocolate.
Man, it's so funny. People sometimes get a bigger kick out of that than I just said I was on tour with Prince. You was in Sex with Chocolate. Oh my God. Hey, I said I went on tour with Prince. Sex with Chocolate. I'm serious. It's crazy, man.
It's so hard to believe. I guess people find it hard to believe, you know.
But Sex with Chocolate. I'm like, people. Yeah.
Yeah. How'd
I
you get
was
that? How'd y'all get that gig, man?
Man, it's just right place, right time. That's all it was for me. It was just like, see, I was playing, we were doing cover. I tell you, man, I was doing cover music and like I said, I was doing the time stuff. But I was like, man, I don't want to play cover music the rest of my life, you know. I was just thinking like that, like, and not that there's anything wrong with it, you know. I'm just saying, I want to do something different, you know. So I left and we had a little fusion band back then, so I came when we started playing. But the drummer was, you know, as a side gig, was driving execs around on the Paramount parking lot, and so he was driving John Landis one day to the set, and he goes, "Hey man, I need a band for tomorrow's scene. You know anybody?" He goes, "Yeah, well I have a band." The next thing I know, you know, I was in LA for maybe a week, and next thing I found myself on the on a set with Eddie Murphy. You know, and that little scene took us 2.5 days to film because Eddie was cracking so many jokes and messing around, and we had to take several breaks, and so, oh man, he was in rare form back then. When he was young, man, I mean, he was. We did two, and you know that was all right. You know, it wasn't like you know the first one's always the goal. I think
Yeah, yeah.
you know, but there was talk of a sexual chocolate movie. I was like, don't do that. That'll be my retirement.
I know y'all had mad fun though filming those.
Oh yeah, man. So when we were a lot younger too. I think I was 28 years old, man. You know, yeah.
That's so cool.
And then when it came out, though, it kind of came and went. It became a cult classic later on. Like people, when it came on reruns, you know, that's when I started hearing a lot of sexual chocolate chatter. You know, it's like that's like all of a sudden, I think I was in LA and somebody record, hey, you in that? I'm like, yeah, but it had came out of like a year or two ago. Yeah, I'm like, yeah. People were starting really getting into it. It was hilarious. But
Funny.
it's been the gift that keeps on giving, so I can't be mad. You know, that
It
was one I
really
was like,
is.
man, if I could just get in the movie and say hello next time,
Right, right.
you know, or at least back in the day, those were good checks. I miss those checks. Those were good.
And y'all popped up in another movie too. Not as a sexual chocolate, but in the as a time, you guys popped up in Jay and Silent Bob.
Oh yeah, Jay and
Yeah,
Silent Bob. That was with the my man
yeah, Kevin Smith.
Kevin Smith
So
and his sidekick. Yeah, I love this movie. I like chasing Amy a lot. I like
yeah,
Kevin Smith a lot. You know, so that was real fun, man. And yeah, that was we just pretty much did Jungle Love at the end, hung out and got to see those guys work. It's pretty amazing, you know. Yeah, but it's I mean, movies are great, man. You do more movies. That's where to go, kids. Movies.
yeah. We got to get the time in another movie, man, and with some speaking roles.
Yeah, with some speaking roles. Just hey, what's happening? Can I get that?
Hey, chili sauce, something, anything.
Chili sauce. Yeah, there you go.
My brother, it is so good catching up with you, man. And I want to know, man, what's the future of Freak Juice and what you got on the agenda coming up soon?
Well, we got a festival for Free Juice May 17th in Tahlequah, and then we're gonna just start doing some shows. I'm gonna start trying to write more and get another record to go, you know, plenty to talk about in today's climate. So I had hoped to have a lighter record, more fun infused. I don't know if it's gonna go that way these days,
When you gonna make a
but we'll see.
trip out to bring the act out to LA, man? Get
Well,
some
we
guys.
we've been out there several times. So now, I might shoot a video for my guitar company, and then I'll take and then we can hook up and do a show, and then I got some connects that we can do some things out there. So yeah, but I know you guys got a nice following, so we'll come rock with y'all.
Sound like a plan, man. I'm with that.
Yeah, yeah, but you
Master.
definitely, I definitely want to get the. We haven't been out there in a few years, so
Yeah,
we
because
usually take it
you
out
got
once a year,
you
but we
got a
haven't
nice
been out there in a year since actually longer than that,
yeah,
So
because you
the
got a nice
guys,
following in Tulsa.
yeah, yeah, we got a nice following,
Yeah, you
man.
guys, I mean, you guys, you stay real busy out there. So yeah, I would
Yeah, yeah.
that
This,
out.
like I said, man, it's a way it's a release for me, It's a passion deal,
Yeah, I understand. I
Yeah, you know how we do it.
yeah,
So,
understand, man. You gotta
but
take
yeah, man,
take
we'll
care of
be
your family.
if y'all see the time, come and holler at me. And if you want this guitar, go to freejuicemusic.com. Get at me personally. I'm on Free Juice Music and Tori Ruffin on Facebook. DM me because I'll save you a bunch of money on shipping and get you a free case if you come through me directly. There it is.
Absolutely. And the guitar is made by Schecter.
Yeah, Schecter guitar. Here it is one more time.
Yeah, so that you got you know the color. I know you probably heard this, but it reminds me of the old Capitol Records label. You probably heard that before. Huh?
I have not. I have to go check it out. Somebody said candy corn.
That yeah, candy corn too. But if you see if you
But
if you if you get an old Beach Boys album from the 60s and on the Capitol Records label has that same yellow orange kind of deal going on. Kind of fun of that.
oh, right on, man. Well, that's cool. Kind of,
Yeah, kind of old school vintage kind of look to it. I love it.
yeah, yeah. Like I said, I took a chance. I could have did something safe, but I was like, nah, freak juice. Let's get in the blender. Let's mix it up a little bit and let's
Excellent.
go for it.
Yeah. And
So
how
yeah,
long has
it's doing well. The guitar is doing well. People, like I say, it's a versatile instrument, and people seem to like the versatility of it. And we're gonna do another color coming up too. So, but that's out of the way. So
how long has this guitar been out now?
about a year,
About a year. Okay, so yeah, so
you know,
it's
a
still
little over,
hot
a
off the
little
press,
under a
baby.
year.
Still hot off the press,
Yeah,
man.
still hot off the press. We sold through the first two orders, so come on, get it. I think this is gonna be the last run. and
Yeah,
then and then so get the first run because then we're gonna do another color. I don't know if we'll do this color again. So
yeah. Okay,
anyway,
we'll be waiting to see
yeah,
that.
but May 22nd too. Please, everybody come out. We need your support for this time funk masterclass. We're gonna be going through it. All the instruments, all the keyboard players. Monty will talk through all the parts, drummers. Jelly Bean will talk about producing and playing drums, and we'll get him on guitar as well, so he can blaze on some guitar. He'll be playing the Tory Freak Juice signature Schecter model, of course, but he'll be wearing it out.
All right,
So yeah,
that's
y'all come
love
through,
that.
man, and we appreciate what you do every day, man. You're keeping this funk alive. Digital soul in the house, for
Thank you, my
sure.
brother. Much
We
love to
really
you and all the
appreciate it.
brothers, man. I greatly appreciate it, man. I'm honored that you even took time to even do this again.
Oh man, anytime you need me, I'm here, brother. And I got
Always,
you.
and I
Got
always support any way I possibly can, man.
I
Always.
know that's right. And likewise, brother. So tag me whatever you need and we'll get on this that's all we got in each other these days. So let's
Yeah,
everybody stick together and be about that positivity.
that's it, man. That's it. That's what it is. Free juice for life, baby. Yes, sir. Well, man, I thank
Uh,
you so much for stopping through, ladies and gentlemen. Multi-talented guitarist, producer, arranger, Freak Juice, The Time, Fishbone, Tori Freak Juice Ruffin on Digital Soul Presents. We thank you
I
so much, my brother.
appreciate
Thank
you.
you.